It's changed, my dear, and it seems not a moment too soon. Hello, listeners. You're tuning in to the 11 o'clock Waffle. Don't worry, Mak hasn't had voice surgery. You are listening to the dulcet tones of myself, Chris Stanley, taking over for one episode only. We've still got an excellent lineup, and due to the X-Men film coming out, we're going to be focusing heavily on that. In fact, I'd like to introduce the drinking games to Waffle. Drink every time we make a reference or mention X-Men. First up, with a solid teaching profession, possibly comparable to Jean Grey, although we hope she won't turn Phoenix and murder us all like the third film, it's Natalie Fowler.
Yay!
I was confused. I was like, who's Natalie Fowler? I just know Natalie Haynes.
My alter ego.
Yeah, much like Jean Grey. Very good.
I'm clever, me.
You just don't murder us all by staring, Nat, because as far as I can tell, that's what happens in the third movie. She stares at someone, they die.
I can't make any promises. I have got a mean look.
Okay. Moving on, with her impeccable knowledge about sci-fi, she could be considered the mystique of the Waffle, featuring last time against Carla, and coming up with some interesting facts about 1,400-pound stainless steel knives. It's Cathy Smedley.
Hello. I approve. I can pull off the mystique.
Yeah, you're comfortable with wearing no clothes on camera.
Yeah, no, maybe not. I think I'm being a bit aggressive like
Okay, just don't go rogue.
No. Well done.
And lastly, the man we'd all like to question, who's been put in the same position that Stephen Fry was when he had to answer questions from Alan Davies. As ever-present as Wolverine, and hopefully looking to improve on his performances in recent events, much like Wolverine, it's the one and only Mak Forsyth.
Good evening. Yes, it is I, constant appearer on this program.
Yeah,
Back again.
I have to say, you've never missed a show. It's impressive.
I even did one show with food poisoning. That's how dedicated I am.
Oh wow. Point though on Wolverine, like when he shakes someone's hands, do his claws not come out? Can he control that?
He can control that.
I can just. Oh, okay. Because otherwise, I can just imagine. Nice to meet you, Wolverine. Ow! Ow! You stabbed my hand. Just be so awkward.
Are people drinking every time we mention an X-Men character on this?
Yes.
Well?
Yeah. No, I said reference. Yeah. So them's the rules. No slackers here. I'm sure Tony's got his diet of whiskey and more whiskey ready for this one. Right. So there's the intros done. Let's have some questions. Question 1. The largest dinosaur of all time has been discovered on a dig in Argentina. So, other dinosaurs whose evolutionary traits were extraordinary. And we'll start with the usual host, Mak.
Ooh, righty. So, I'm going with Stegosaurus. I had a big think at work today about all the dinosaurs I've watched on Walking with Dinosaurs, and Planet Dinosaur, and Primeval, Jurassic Park. The list of dinosaur programs I've watched growing up is endless. Stegosaurus, which has armed spikes on its tail so it could swing that at any predators that attacked it and cause them harm. It also had plates on its back, which they believe, because they can find in these plates that they found that they had veins and capillaries running through them. They believe they were used to pump blood into them when threatened, to make them sort of appear larger and more threatening. Or alternatively, they'd be used during the mating season to sort of flourish in the same way in a sort of peacocking, but a prehistoric form, Stegosaurus cocking. Maybe.
I was going to say, pimp my steg. Possible reason. Bonus points to anyone who can tell me who narrated Walking with Dinosaurs.
Kenneth Branagh.
Ah, very good.
That's what I was going to say.
Fingers on buzzers, teams.
Buzz!
Right. Cat.
Hello. I'm sadly not such a big fan of the dinosaurs, but they are quite cool. I have now officially seen Jurassic Park at least once.
That's good. Clever girl.
Yes. Well done. I was interested to find out that the Spinosaurus is actually actually the largest meat-eating dinosaur. It's 17 meters long.
Ah.
So I've heard.
Yep.
That's my interesting fact. Also, that T-Rexes are apparently scavengers as opposed to actual hunters. I don't know where the truth in that is, but I found that interesting.
I think that is
Just
quite...
the tiny arms.
Yeah, the forearms, so useless. Yeah, the arms were just supposed to sort of help them sort of lift themselves up from a sort of lying position. But yeah, get better arms, guys, come on. Nat!
We kind of just touched on my answer, because I was going to go with the T-Rex, because it's a well-known fact they all died from cataracts because their arms were so short they couldn't get their glasses on.
I approve. That's very good.
True story.
Oh, I like how facts don't win in this show.
It is a fact. I read it at the Natural History Museum.
Oh, okay.
It might have been a joke wall, but it was still there, so...
Oh,
Must
I
have
see.
been quite a spectacle.
On Jurassic Park, actually, the Velociraptors in that film, they made the Velociraptors bigger in the film than they actually are in real life.
Yeah, and they're not actually that smart either. And I don't think they were that fast. Yeah.
They were quick.
Yeah, but not quite that quick. He said cheetah speed, and they weren't quite that quick.
They are related to the modern-day turkey, however. Distantly related by the bone structure.
I presume you mean the bird and not the country, Turkey. They're not.
They could be possibly a bit of both, actually, because I know quite a lot of dinosaur remains are found in Mongolia, which is near Turkey. My geography
it isn't.
is slightly correct.
I suppose it's the same continent.
It's the same continent. Continental shift.
True, that's true. Right. Question 2. Singer Morrissey is in talks to appear on The Archers, presumably to try and make it more light-hearted. So, other musicians you'd like to see in soaps. Cat.
I'd love to see Kiss in a soap opera. That would be hilarious.
Any particular soap opera?
I don't know, but Coronation Street is sticking out as a good one.
Okay.
I'd put them in EastEnders, but they just blend in.
Excellent. Nat.
Is that my name?
Yes, sorry.
It texted Nat or Mac.
We've got Cat and Nat and Mac in.
It's
a phonics nightmare.
I would put Meatloaf into EastEnders, because when he was on The Apprentice, he went crazy, so I think he'd fit right in.
Okay, but you know if they ask him that he said, I'd do anything for love, but I won't do that.
I could sing you the full 8 minutes if you want. That would be a treat.
That would be. Yeah, that's a treat for another day. Mac.
Okay, so I've got Dave Grohl as a farmer in Emmerdale, because with that beard, he does like that farmer bloke did 10 years ago before he went grey.
Okay.
I've also got Gary Barlow. He could go to EastEnders. He could work on the car lot there and fudge the tax returns when they came in.
Ooh.
Create a really badly orchestrated Commonwealth single to go with it.
And lastly, I think it'd be nice to have Little Mo back in EastEnders. I think we could have Little Mo back and maybe get Chris Brown playing her new husband.
You get Big Mo back as well.
Wow. Oh, bonus point if you can tell me which soap Status Quo appeared in, because they were in a soap.
Coronation Street.
It was.
Everybody turns up in Coronation Street. Ian McKellen went to Coronation Street, and he plays Magneto in the X-Men. Drink!
Damn it, man. I don't watch Coronation Street, but I know that I think, because one of the characters is a fan of Status Quo, but he gets a bit too close and they punch him. So, yeah, my respect for Status Quo went up quite high. Okay, question 3. Elizabeth Hurley is to play a fictional version of the Queen in a new US drama. As Americans love making their own version of what they perceive to be British culture, what shows should they be watching to truly understand what it means to be British? Start with Nat on that one.
The only way is Essex. They're definitely missing out on a whole highlight of society.
Or highlights of society.
Yep.
Oh dear.
Do not adjust your television set. Those people really are that orange.
They should be EE now, surely. I like that shop because every time I walk past it, I can go EE. Mac.
British culture, I'm going My Family, because it is pretty much representative of the sort of modern-day British family. You've got the dad who loves football but doesn't do really housework, doesn't really give any attention to the kids and just fobs them off with money and then complains about it. The one who thinks she can cook but can't cook. The idiot son who just somehow gets around on life without actually having a job. There's the favourite son, who's the smart one, who can do everything, and they throw the money at. And then there's the pregnant out-of-wedlock daughter.
Nice.
And it starts off really good, and then it goes gradually downhill.
It does, yeah. No, I remember watching My Family quite religiously, and then, yeah.
And it was created by an American.
After Nick left, yeah, it wasn't as good.
Yeah, they got that weird Welsh guy with the guitar in.
Alfie Buck.
Yeah, he wasn't very good.
Right, Kat.
Hello.
Hello.
I always seem surprised tonight when you ask me questions as if I'm not expecting it. Well, I kind of have a mix of two, and one of them is a bit sort of bit iffy, but I'd say watching Monty Python, because it's a bit off the wall. You know, they don't expect British people to walk around wearing boo signs under their coats, but no, there they are. The other one is Miranda. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I think it does show the quirky side of Britain and our general, like, for example, the key point is the Christmas episode where she cannot cope with Christmas, which is it's very me. I cannot cope with Christmas.
See, Miranda sums up not only British culture but also the waffle, because we all know that Emma, makes a ton of cash out of that show, despite her protestations are the worst. Okay, so we've had the first 3 questions, so here are the scores. In last place, but the scores are tight, it's Mak with 13.
Oh!
In second place, with 14 points, it's Kat.
Woo!
But for her hilarious T-Rex answer, and having a very good round so far, it's Nat on 15 points.
Whoop whoop!
Yay!
Excellent. Do a bit of plugging of our social media. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter. I should know, I run the darn thing on Twitter. So, yes, obviously we're on YouTube, because you're listening to us right now. I don't think we're on anything else yet. I'm struggling to imagine what a Waffle Tumblr would look like.
What Waffle Tumblr? What pictures of sort of Ed and James looking lovingly together and quotes over the top.
Yeah, and Tony throwing himself off a building, and yeah.
Picture of Alex, Doctor Who condoms.
Yes, I reckon that's what he's doing now, because I haven't heard from Alex in so long. I reckon that's he finally made it, man. He's out there living the dream.
Yeah.
The disturbing, warped dream. Question 4 now. X-Men, drink, Days of Future Past is out in cinemas now. So what superhero power would you like to have? And we'll start with Natalie on this one.
Oh, I'd probably like to have mind control. Like, you can control people's minds.
Oh, interesting.
You
Okay.
have a wedding ring to do that with, Sean.
Well, I'd like to, spread out my powers and take over the world. So maybe not a superhero, maybe a super villain.
I like it. Sort of a combination of Professor X's and Magneto's powers. Nice.
Sorry, was that an X-Men's reference there?
No, we never do those on this show. Go on, you take us for. Cathy!
I think mine would have to be a dual sort of power of teleportation and astral projection, so I can stay in one place and disappear off elsewhere, which would be quite nice. You project yourself into your desk at work, but you're actually...
Or you have an identical twin, and they do that for you.
I'll get the genetics kit.
There's been Cathy sat somewhere else whilst astro projecting herself to do the waffle.
Quite possibly. I mean, we can't see it, so we can't tell. She could be anywhere, man. Okay, I wonder what superhero power Mak is going to have.
It's a tricky one. I mean, there's so many to choose from. I mean, there's that famous Peter Beardsley interview where he was asked if you could have a superpower, what would, this very same question actually, and his answer was he would choose to be invisible so he could stand at a traffic lights all day pushing the button.
Right.
So it's a great use of that power. I mean, flight, come on, who wouldn't want the power to fly? You'd save a fortune in airfare. And that's generally the most expensive part of going on holiday is the airfare, so you'd be cutting down that. You'd be environmentally friendly as well, because you wouldn't be using fossil fuels to get around the place. It'd be all good and well until there was a lightning strike.
Yeah.
But then again, those would be the only time strikes would affect you in your journeys.
It's true.
Train strikes, bus
How
strikes.
high up could you fly though? Because as I understand it, the higher up you go, the harder it is to breathe. So presumably there's a point where you're just like, oh, need air, and you need to come back down. So, there's question 5 and kind of a two-parter to question 4. What is the best superhero movie of all time? Go with Cathy first. I haven't seen that film.
Oh, it's really good. I had real trouble answering this because the only thing I could think of was the old Superman TV show, which was amazingly cheesy and lovely. I did recently discover Supergirl, which is a little bit 80s, and that was which was bad. But I think I'm probably gonna go with the Avengers. I like the Avengers. I like Iron Man. It's cool.
So the Avengers Assemble, I presume you mean?
Oh yes, sorry,
Yeah.
I'll get it right.
Avengers is awesome,
It is. Has some good dialogue in it.
and it has one of the best post-credit scenes as well.
I think my favourite bit is just when Loki's trying to lecture Hulk, and Hulk just ignores him completely and just smashes him all over the ground. Showing that Hulk is actually smarter than Thor. It's like, don't try and negotiate with Loki. It's not going to work. Just smash him around.
It's also one of the greatest ever jokes by Los Shanahan.
Yes.
Thor's too much of a mainstream god to follow. I prefer my gods to be a little more low-key.
Yes, I believe Loz is up all night to get Loki. If I could deduct points off myself, I would. Nat?
It's tough between the Hulk or Batman because they're both quite attractive.
The Hulk!
Edward Norton's Hulk, yeah.
It's terrible.
I think I might have to go for Batman just for the voice.
Fair enough. I will give you bonus points, Nat, if you can do the Batman voice.
Oh, I was hoping you asked that. I'll be whatever Gotham needs me to be.
Excellent.
I spent a lot of time practicing that one.
Is that the
Wow.
voice you turn when you're angry at the kids?
Yeah, no, I tend to go more Hulk than Batman.
Excellent.
Don't you dare paint me green. You won't
No.
like me when I'm painted green.
My arm's
Nat-
blue actually today from paint, not green, but
Children are late for assembly. Where are they?
they're not quite there with colour mixing to get to green.
I do believe that was a little bit more Dinosaur Office, Chris, than Batman.
Possibly. Oh, don't get me started on Dinosaur Office. We'll be here all day. Mac.
Wait, Dinosaur Office?
Oh, it's a fun YouTube series involving clay animation, and all the characters kind of talk like this. And in the comments below, everyone talks in caps lock. It's quite beautiful. Except for the T-Rex is the boss, but he kind of talks in a sort of smooth voice. It's like, Craig, I noticed your report was absent from my desk. Hi, Todd. How are you? I can't complain. Mac, I think we know what your answer is.
So yeah, I mean, the best superhero movie of all time. I mean, obviously putting to aside as good a film as it is, X-Men, which pretty much kicked off the current phase of superhero films that we're currently experiencing back in 1999 through to now. 7 films in 14 years, which is quite a feat. But yeah, I mean, Dark Knight is really the one that redefined the superhero genre. It sort of making it more realistic version, getting rid of the sort of the fairy tale aspect of it, putting it in the real world. Definitely has changed the films, and it does sort of leads a lot of people to question about the superheroes having powers as such. And people prefer them to be like Bruce Wayne, where they do all the fighting and the stunts, rather than it sort of depend upon the CGI effects.
It's true. I have to say, if I was answering this, I'd actually, this is a bit of left field, but I quite like The Incredibles. I think it's the first sort of
Incredible.
the first Pixar movie that's actually quite cynical, and so there's the whole fact that Mr. Incredible saves someone who jumped from a building, and he sues him saying that he didn't want to be saved, and sort of backlash against superheroes. I don't know, I thought it was quite interesting.
I think on that note, there's also Megamind, which is also quite a good sort of twist on the superhero genre.
I love Megamind. It's so silly.
Ooh.
Your weakness is copper?
There is also there's quite a good one actually. I can't think of the main guy in it, but Ellen Page is in it, and it's called Super. And
okay.
It came out around the same time as Kick-Ass, and obviously Kick-Ass is the one which is where he's a normal person who decides to become a superhero.
Yes.
And obviously, it's quite like that. The Super's pretty similar. His wife's played by Liv Tyler, and she falls in with this drug gang. So she's like addicted to meth or something, and he decides to become a superhero to rescue her. But it sort of pokes fun at it because he's there sort of rolling around the back of the car trying to pull the outfit on, and he stood in line at the cinema one day, and this guy cuts in the line, and he asks him politely if he can move to the back, so he's pushed in, and this guy refuses. So he walks out of the line to the car, gets in the car, puts his costume on, gets out of the car, walks over with a wrench, and proceeds to batter the living daylights out of this guy for pushing in the line.
Cool. Wow. That's like extreme Britishness. You do not push him, man. We warned you about this. Wow.
He's the hero Britain deserves, but not the one we read right now.
I have to say, I watched Kick-Ass in Croydon. It's probably not the best location to have watched such a violent film. Question 6 now. Antarctica is losing about 160 billion tons of ice a year, which is raising the sea level by almost half a centimetre each year. I have to say, Antarctica is being very irresponsible. You don't see any of the other continents doing this. It must do better. See me afterwards.
The Bears, they signed that commercial deal with Glacier Mints.
It's true, yeah. So, other facts about climate change. Doffing your science caps for this one's question. Mac.
So, in 2010, climate-related extreme events and disasters affected some 300 million people, most often in countries which haven't got the resources to cope with it. And they reckon by 2015, this number will reach 375 million per year in climate change-related incidents. So it is a big problem. Not really sure how we're supposed to refreeze the ice, though.
Get Mr. Freeze coming back to Batman. Everyone, just chill.
When they reboot the Batman franchise, I'm not sure that Mr. Freeze is the direction they're going to be going in.
No, I don't think Mr. Freeze is ever going to feature again.
Pretty sure we just need to hire Storm and we'll all be fine.
If you're ever thinking of watching Batman and Robin the movie, don't. It's a terrible film. It's much better to watch Everything Wrong with Batman and Robin, which is about a sixth of the time, but much funnier. Cat.
Apparently it's possible to survive Poison Ivy's kiss with rubber lips.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
never mind the fact it's probably
it.
her saliva that does it. He doesn't really equate for that.
I don't think they really considered fact when they were doing that film.
Bat nipples. Could you imagine if we get Joel Schumacher loose on the Waffle?
Let's move on. Cat.
Apparently, because of the whole losing ice things, the climate change is indirectly responsible, or maybe even directly responsible, for mountains getting taller.
That was my answer!
Sorry, Natalie, sorry. We've all been on the same Google searches. But yes, other than that, it is apparently making people angrier because we get hotter. So,
That was my backup answer! You can't have both of them!
You may have one of them if you wish.
Nat, which answer are you picking?
I'm going to take the mountain being taller one.
That's great. Better
But I've got the science to back it up as well.
So what's the science?
The ice is melting, so the mountains aren't being weighed down anymore, which was causing them to sink into the earth. So now they can rise back up again. So they're lighter.
Ah.
Very good. Good science knowledge.
Kat didn't say that, did she?
Did you get a bonus point? Sorry.
No. Props to Nat for knowledge there.
We did try and get Jeremy Clarkson in for this round just to sort of give us a talk on climate change, but he politely refused.
I imagine UKIP has some very good statistics about how much of the climate change is being caused by gays. I thought that there's someone did a UKIP shipping forecast for all the different areas, like Dogger Bank, feeling mildly camp. Good. Okay, right, we've reached the end of the second round. In last place, on 26 points, it's Cathy.
Ah!
On 27 points, it's Mac.
God damn it.
But having a stunning show so far, on 30 points, and possibly breaking the season's record, it's Natalie Fowler.
Whoop, whoop, whoop!
Is it because she's Batman?
It is kind of because she's Batman.
My
Stop
Batman's
talking.
way better than that.
It's my turn now. You gargling marbles or something? I can barely understand you. Oh, I love the how it should have ended cafe scenes with Batman and Superman.
The how it should have ended one for X-Men First Class Drink is actually quite good as well.
Yes, we have been arguing about this for 50 years.
No, Charles.
We can't give it up.
That's pretty much my one Ian McKellen impression that I've worked on.
Excellent.
So I can just shout that out at one point in the film when I go and see it, and that'll be it, and I'll be thrown out.
I think Magneto and Gandalf should have their powers combined. That would be a pretty unstoppable superhero.
What replaces staff with a spoon?
But would he try and bend the spoon? Because that's impossible.
Uri Geller versus Magneto. That's a film to make.
Wow. I'd forgotten that Uri Geller existed. What does Uri Geller even do?
He got given the other day a gorilla made out of spoons.
Did it play the drums for a cabaret sample?
No, so some artist decided to make a gorilla out of spoons and give it to Uri Geller.
Okay.
Which means that very soon one of us will be getting a monkey made out of waffles.
Awesome. I'll never understand artists. Question 7 now. University students have ordered up to hundreds of meters of bubble wrap to combat exam stress, which would explain all the popping noises I've been hearing recently. So, other proven methods of relieving stress. Natalie?
Stroking a fluffy animal unless it bites you. Because then you just get more stress.
Excellent. Would you stroke it James Blofeld style?
I don't know what that means.
James
Stavros
Bond,
Blofeld.
Yes, the main villain in James Bond in a lot of the James Bond films. He's always
Oh, I
stroking.
know. I always imagine the Austin Powers version whenever anyone says that.
Oh, is it Mr.
The little
Snugglepuss?
finger up as well.
Yes.
Yeah, I do it in a big chair and I decide on my evil plan.
What happened to Mr. Snugglepuss? Oh dear. Well, I haven't seen Austin Powers in a while. Mac.
You haven't seen Blofeld either due to legal issues between the person who created him and the people who make James Bond films.
Oh, really?
Yes, that's why after Sean Connery's here, after Diamonds Are Forever, Blofeld doesn't pop up again. And then there's that one bit where Roger Moore drops him down the big funnel.
Yeah.
He's never actually credited as Blofeld. He's just a bald man with a cat.
Oh,
And
okay.
it's all to do with legal issues about the character and
I like the idea. I like the idea that after he did that, it was just like, was it Blofeld? I don't know. I don't think he was actually called Blofeld. There's so many guys with cats and wheelchairs. You guys.
It was just some
I don't
bloke
know.
on the roof trying out a toy helicopter. So yes, methods to relieve stress. Well, apart from the obvious all-time number one,
Oh.
I'm gonna
You can't beat it.
I'm gonna go running.
Ah.
Running's good, especially at this time of year when on a nice sunny evening you can go out. Exercise does help release endorphins as well, and you don't really
Cool.
have to mop up as much afterwards. So
No.
you just do your run, come back, have a nice shower, cold shower, 2 birds killed with 1 stone.
You do occasionally, though, get the problem that you're followed by lots of children and there's sort of cheesy 80s music going on in the background.
Yeah, I like to find a car that's going a little bit slow in the road and run alongside that, sort of silently mouthing Eye of the Tiger at it.
I'm
Awesome.
confused about whether you're talking about running or the other thing now.
I'm fairly certain that's still illegal, even in Devon.
Oh dear. Can you raise the tone?
So exercise, it's good and it's healthy, and it won't make you go blind.
No. Quite. Cathy, save us.
Tea! Tea solves everything and relieves stress. Have some tea, or other caffeinated beverages are available. But
Excellent.
tea,
Yes. As the 8th Doctor once said, never turn down tea. It's impolite and that's how wars start.
exactly.
Excellent. Very British answer there, Cathy.
Are you saying that World War One started because he declined a cup of tea and decided to carry on in the car?
I can't promise that it didn't.
I think Hitler was more of a coffee man, nothing more than an espresso whilst planning the new Reichstag. He seems the sort of hyper person who would just like neck 5 espressos. I reckon that's what through his speeches.
Where does Hitler keep his tea bags?
I don't want to know the answer to this.
It'd be the far right of the cupboard, surely.
Oh, that's so bad. Oh dear. Speaking of things that are bad, 2.5 Men is no longer winning as it's ending after 12 series. So what else has run its course and should finish? Last question of tonight's show. Cathy.
I'm sorry, it's got to be EastEnders. They've now rerun the plot about 5 times, at least, since I last watched it. People die, people get born. That seems to be the general theme. There's some fire in between, and somebody gets off with someone else's sister.
And people in love go wild and crazy.
Exactly.
People in love do everything wrong.
But they're never lonely.
No. Quite. Bonus point for the reference. Mac.
Justin Bieber and Miley Cyrus.
They're going out?
No, but I mean their music careers.
Okay, that would have been breaking news.
in terms of things that should end, ITV's football coverage. Because my God, that's bad. It's excruciatingly painful to watch. It's generally they have a load of people on there who don't really know what they're talking about.
No.
But yeah, so I got the football coverage and an earlier answer as well. Only way is Essex. We don't need this show.
No. Points. And I will throw in a bonus point, Mac, if you can tell me what error ITV made in a Liverpool-Everton match in 2009, I think it was.
Well, they cut to a commercial break with a minute of play still to go, and then the goal went in.
Yes, the only goal scored in 120 minutes of football was missed by live television due to an ad break. I think it was it wasn't Quick Fit, what was it? Wix or something, like some sort of paint advert. I preferred
the BBC gaffes of late with the bars on the news, which have like the headlines and the subtitles, and they had this cat one up, and it said, "I have been addicted to drugs for 12 years."
The subtitles on the BBC are so bad.
I was watching it today, and because we've got a TV at work now, so we can sit and watch the news whilst we're doing all our work. And genuinely, it was saying about the Prince Charles case that's going on at the minute. And the subtitles for it were, Prince Charles compared Russia to Redknapp.
What? So, presumably Russia are going to be taking on Derby County?
Quite possibly.
On Saturday.
Apparently Russia are a wheeler-dealer country.
Yes, they're offering a 2-for-1 on Ukraine. Next, last of all.
As much as it pains me to say it, I think CSI has come to an end, or it should. They're down to like one original character left, and it's just painful.
Is it Nick Stokes?
Yeah, it's only Nick left.
I just solved a crime with him on the game last night.
Everyone else is gone, moved on. It's tragic.
I will give you a bonus point, Nat, if you can come up with some cheesy sort of pun like they do in CSI Miami.
Oh, I've got the best one. The one they always say that really makes me laugh is, who strangles a blind woman?
Yeah!
That was criminal.
Smooth.
Can I just sit here and just take my glasses off in slow motion and then look away and then put them back on for no reason?
Yes, you may.
Body and it's dead, and then you can put them back on.
Excellent.
Well, there's a park just over the road. I'll be back in 5.
I like it's like, oh no, we found one of the murder suspects drowned in a bowl of cornflakes. Well, then looks like we're dealing with a serial killer.
We'd make quite a good crime squad, I saw.
Oh, I thought we already had Cornish Torchwood, did we not?
Well, most of them have moved to Bristol.
Bristol gets used quite a lot for the filming anyway, doesn't it? I think one of the Series 6 episodes of Doctor Who, the one in the flats with the really creepy kid, pretty sure that was in Bristol. It's not really narrowing it down, is it? The Doctor Who show with the really creepy kid. Which episode would you like there? Are you my mummy? Scared of the bombs, right. So we've reached the end of the questions, and it's all to play for. In last place, on 36 points, is Cathy. On 37 points, and hoping for his first ever win on the Waffle, it's Mac.
That's more points than Lucy had when she won.
I'm being very generous today. I knocked you off a point. And just about holding her lead, it's Nat on 39.
Oh, we're getting close.
So we come to our traditional end of show round, the true or false round. Our 3 guests must come up with a news story. It can be either completely true and something from this week's news, or something that's completely made up. I will give between 1 to 3 points for the most interesting story, and then the other guests have to work out whether the story is true or false with points awarded accordingly. Nat, as you're in the lead, I'll let you pick the running order.
I'd like to go last.
Right.
So let's go Cathy, Mak, then me.
Okay. Cathy, when you're ready, your true or false news story headline, please.
I don't know. I wasn't prepared for this.
False.
Oh,
I'm gonna guess and say it's made up.
Cathy, do you need some time to...
No, but I will tell you a very interesting story that was the first story that I read when I moved to Exeter. The Exeter was it Echo Express reported that a cow had gotten stuck in a well, and that was the first story I ever read on my debut in Exeter.
Welcome to Exeter. Unfortunately, that's a true one. Have you got one that could be true or false?
I certainly do.
Okay.
Engineers build bionic kangaroo.
It's true. Okay, the story?
Engineers have built what is seemingly the world's first bionic kangaroo. I will leave you with that tidbit.
Okay, I think it was Mac next.
Safety first is my news headline. The story behind it is so obviously with the World Cup coming up, there's all the sponsorship going on. One strange one in Ecuador, Ecuadorian defender Eduardo Savas, he has got a sponsorship deal with a condom company because he's a tough tackling defender. So they're marketing him on all the packets with the phrase "safety first."
Right.
Because obviously defenders just clear it away, safety first. So
Okay.
apparently if you watch the World Cup, you may get frisky. Safety first, play it away from the back.
Presumably he offers protection.
He does
That's
offer protection.
That's what they're going with. Yeah, okay. And Nat, lastly.
Mine comes from Perfection Valley in Nevada, USA, where there have been reports of creatures coming up from beneath the ground and eating people and cars alive. They are also known as graboids.
Good lord. Okay, so we've got some very interesting news stories there. Interesting. So, first of all, cat story about the bionic kangaroo. Mac, do you think that's true or false?
Oh, the kangaroo. I'm going to go with true for that one.
Okay, and Nat?
True.
True, okay. Mac's story about the Ecuadorian defender and the condom companies, which is not a failed J.K. Rowling novel. Kat, do you think that's true or false?
I really hope it's true. Just for the pun.
Okay, so you're going with true. Okay, and Nat?
I'm going to go with false.
False, oh, okay. Jolly good. And lastly, Nat's terrifying story about the, what were they called?
Graboids.
The graboids. Mac, are the graboids coming to get us?
False, I believe.
False. Okay.
Sounds
Kat.
like an X-Files plot.
It might just be crazy enough to be true.
So you're going with true?
I'm gonna go on a limb.
You're going to go true. Okay, it's a bit of a gamble. Right. Here we go then. Cathy, bionic kangaroo, true or false?
Oh, so true. Oh, so true.
It is true. Okay, so that's a point each for Mac and Nat there. Mac, Ecuadorian defender in the condoms.
This one's getting tugged off at half-time, I'm afraid. It's false.
Oh, so both points to Nat there.
Ooh.
Are Ecuadorian at the World Cup?
I think they are.
Don't you
Well,
think
no,
they have a
maybe
bloke
they're
called
not.
Eduardo Cerveas?
I don't know. Hang on. I'm going through the... Brazil are obviously there. Argentina, Chile, Uruguay, Colombia. No, they're not. They're not even at the World Cup. So, last one. Nat's story about the...
It did happen with Kevin Bacon, however, it was on the set of Tremors, so therefore it is false.
It's
False.
technically true, just in a false kind of fashion.
Both points going to Mac there. So we've come to the end of the show, and the scores are quite interesting. Just keep you all in suspense a little bit longer. Okay, I can reveal the final scores. In last place, and unfortunately not having that great of a round on the true or false, with 38 points, it's Cathy.
No, it's my first loss of the series.
Is it?
I can't remember actually.
No,
You won the first time you were on the sci-fi.
You won the cipher, but I beat you last time.
Yeah,
It was only by a point though.
We fought a good fight, Stanley.
Thank you for coming on again, Cathy.
That's alright, anytime.
Lovely. In second place, and I think this might actually be his best ever finish on the waffle, it's Mak with 42.
Bloody Nora. That's a heck of a score.
I know. I'm just too nice. I threw in a lot of bonus points for this one, and claiming her second victory on the waffle with the record score for this season, and therefore putting herself in with a very good chance of making the final. It's Natalie Fowler on 44 points.
Woohoo! Me.
Jean Grey stared us all to oblivion. Oh, excellent show. I now have to process this video the only way I know how.
Is it the same way every other video gets processed?
Yes, indeed it is. Did she make up that line? I think she made up that line.
I heard it was Joss Whedon wrote it.
Oh, really? I thought she'd come up with that line, and she thought it sounded really clever, so she wanted to use it.
Yeah, but she always used to throw strops as well. She's like, I want a bigger part in this film. I want a bigger part. I want a different haircut. And she was rubbish. Why didn't they kill her off? Why couldn't they kept Jean Grey alive?
Why didn't they have Gambit?
Gambit was awesome.
He only turns up for 5 minutes in the Origins Wolverine film. Not enough.
He was awesome in that.
Yeah, but for only 5 minutes, we're just,
Guys, I've got to go. New Big Bang Theory is about to start.
Oh, okay. Bazinga. Right. So, on that bombshell, as Natalie dives into the bull pool of eternity, and celebrating her victory, we'd like to say thank you to our 3 guests, Mak Forsyth, Cathy Smedley and Natalie Fowler. And we're on our summer break now, but tune in for our World Cup special coming up very shortly. Thank you for listening, and goodbye.
X-Men Days of Future Past, go see it at the cinema!